What's the haps? I'm Meroka, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Jazzpunk. So, what in the name of God is Jazzpunk would be an interesting question to ask. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not entirely sure, because it is such a strange and unusual beast. So I'm going to start with the options menu, because that's something I can just about handle. So under the video settings, we've got VSync, we've got a bunch of quality options, and we've got resolution options. And given the style of the game, which we'll see very soon, that's just about all you need. We've also got controls are not rebindable, but simple enough: WSD, space to jump, and click to activate things. It's fairly straightforward. And it is completely, fully gamepad compatible, with the one caveat that if you do have one plugged in but you still want to use the keyboard and mouse, it does have a tendency to override things, so everything in the menus and all the controls on screen will appear as gamepad inputs. So bear that in mind if you've got yours plugged in, but we're not planning on using it, as is so often the case for myself at any rate. So let's jump into a level to have a look at the dang thing. So Darlington Station is a bit of preamble, so we're going to go into the Soviet Consulate here. So Soviet Consulate is our first level. Welcome to Jazzpunk. Infiltrate the Soviet Consulate. This is a sort of Cold War era espionage kind of thing. And that text isn't on my screen. It's a physical object hanging in the air, which I feel sort of sets the tone for the entire thing a little bit. We've got lots of 2D objects, like these strange multicolored trees, and all our characters in the world are these strange, sort of chunky, polygonal kind of guys with cylinders for heads and whatnot, and a lot of heavy use of toon shading, which is very easy to get wrong, but they seem to have done a very good job of. It's not perfect, but I've seen very few people who have managed to get toon shading absolutely perfect. On these black and white guys, that nobodies these guys are essentially, there's very few black and white people you actually interact with. It looks fine, but when you look at, say, this little sort of secret agent kind of guy sat on the bench, you look at the hat, it doesn't line up very well, it sort of jaggies out a bit, which is not great, but they've done a far better job of it than a lot of devs I've seen that have tried to apply toon shading to things, because it's tricky to get right. They've done a pretty good job with it. It's not noticeable for the most part, and the style, generally speaking, is bizarre but very, very endearing, I must say. So I'm going to head up onto this bridge, because this is the first place I headed the first time I played it through, and the kind of perhaps the very first taste of the game you get, and a feel of perhaps what it might be all about. So this is one of those things that you'll know it when you hear it. Yep. He's okay. Yeah, that was the Wilhelm screen, and yeah, if you know what that is, you knew what that was. If you don't know what that is, look it up, and you will never not notice it again. So we've got a frog here. Frog here is kind of a side quest. This whole area, by the way, obviously the Soviet Consulate's there, which is kind of our mission. And we've got this huge city, town, square thing out front, which is chock full of people and things to interact with, side quests, side missions, that sort of stuff. And it's all, none of them really serve much purpose other than just to add flavour and fun things to do. This game really truly rewards exploration and searching out every nook and cranny in the game. So as I look at one of these kind of side quests, let's talk to the frog, who's trying to get free Wi-Fi from Starbucks. Why not? But he drops his password cracker on the road. So obviously we're going to play Frogger to try and get it back. So let's see if I can manage that. Oh, the guy that Wilhelm, he was just caught on the front of that car, I think. That was a bit grim. But hey, let's see if we can't make it back across. And we can! Huzzahs! My Frogger skills are beyond par. So, go ahead, put it on. Let's put it on. Amphibian vision, everyone. This is how frogs see, I guess. And we must hack into Starbucks Wi-Fi by snatching data out of the thin air with a frog tongue. Because why not? Because why not seems to be the name of the game here. There's so many surreal and bizarre things that you, for the most part, just seem to need to go along with, because it doesn't explain them, and wants a little privacy on the internet? Of course he does. Yeah, the game never explains much of what you're doing, other than just to go along with it just for the funnies. You know. So, matter of fact, I missed that. Let's head over here. We've got fish and chips. Yeah, Geiger counter. So the game is absolutely chock full of puns. If you like really terrible puns, there are many terrible puns in this game. You will trip over them every step of the way. It's absolutely packed full of terrible humour. Got a guy with a pull string on his back, sure. What is it?
Believe in yourself.
Okay, I do. Sure. I don't know why that's there. That's not going to be explained why he's there. It's just weird. Just go with it. So this is our actual mission. This is why we are actually in the game. And as I say, there is so much to do and see around here, but I kind of am loath to do it. I could go around showing off so much more, but I don't want to because it would spoil it for you, and I don't want to do that. I would feel really bad about spoiling this entire game for someone who would then be denied the opportunity to experience it for themselves. So I'm kind of trying to give you a flavour of the game here without ruining anything. So I'm going to jump into the mission here, the actual meat of it, without showing off too much of that. I've shown you enough to get a sense of what it's about, I think. So we're trying to get into the consulate, but we don't have an appointment. And if we talk to him, we don't have security clearance, so we can have a wander around, have a look. A tree, that's a political prisoner. And he's following us pretty closely around. He's a little bit creepy. Yeah, he's, you know, right up behind us every time we turn around. Sometimes a little too close for liking. Hi. So, this is what we actually want here. We've got a clock and a schedule. So we've got the lunchtime, communist plotting, vodka and biscuits, or potato sack roast. Bit racist, maybe? I don't know. But okay. So, there we go. Let's set it to 12 o'clock, so it's lunchtime. And our window cleaner's outside. There we go. They're gonna go on their lunch break. Yeah, that's actually what I used to move the clock hands. I didn't use my own hand. Of course, I used a cardboard hand on a stick. Because why not? So, there we go. Gone luncheon. Back in 5. Gone luncheon. Oh, dear God. So, let's head on up. Head on up, because they've left us their, whatever you'd call one of these things. Pulley? Whatever it is. So, let's head on in, and obviously do a roll in of a 2-foot drop, because why not? Let's have a look at this microscope. And yeah, more mini games. Oh, hang on, no, I wanted to play that. How do I... Ah, click to shoot. Yes, there we go. The game is, aside from chock full of silly mini-games and side quests and just bizarre, that's what the kids are calling random things, there's also a million and one of these mini-games all over the place. So we've got Frogger and we've got Space Invaders just within the first level alone. Phage complete. Ba-dum-tsh. Yep. There's plenty more where that came from, kids. We've got another one here. This one is not going to be Space Invaders. This one's going to be... Well, what's going on here? Oh my. So, nope. Let's give them their privacy. So, let's have a look around. This is where we actually want to be, this machine. We're trying to steal the data cartridge. It's jammed in there pretty well. Let's use the computer terminal and hack into some sort of alternate matrix-y kind of dimension. Don't know why, but we do. Sure. Pi is greater than 3.145. Oh dear, the things written in the air. I hadn't even seen those till now. That's amazing. I'm sure the other ones mean something, but I have forgotten a lot of maths that I did at school, but I totally like pi is greater than 3.1459265. Oh dear. So this is what we want. But we can't activate the phone without a dial tone. So Comrade Crunch comes with a free 2600 whistle inside, so that's probably what we're looking for. I could probably use that. So let's shake this down with obviously a cereal meter in the top corner to show how much cereal is in the box. Let's take our whistle that we need and activate the phone.
Thank you for
okay.
The Iron Curtain Net. To reject all sensitive information from our data banks, dial 1 now.
Well, that sounds good to me. We're looking for their sensitive information. So, that phone, again, there's a lot more that goes on with that phone. There's plenty more silly things to see and do, but I don't want to spoil them. There's so much to spoil and I don't want to do that. So, This game has got a fantastic sense of humour. It's just, it's a point-and-click adventure with a fantastic sense of humour and a bizarre style. There's not a lot more to it than that, but it rewards you so much just for exploring with fantastically silly things at every step of the way. So, we want to get out of here with our data cartridge. We can't come out the way we came in, because there's obviously a small ledge there, and we don't have the ID to come in here. Okay. So, we could... I've got a Sputnik? What I need to... What? What? We can take the mainframe of the month picture off the wall. I wonder if that would work. Can we pretend to be the mainframe of the month? Yes. Yes, we can. Don't know why. Yes, the mainframe is given access. Sure, okay. Got a fire alarm, which obviously sets off all the sprinklers. Sure, of course it does. Why the devil not? That security camera's going to keep talking to me. Sure. And we've also got... we've got an ice alarm! Which... Really? Yeah, that's a blast from the past right there. That's... You don't actually have a health meter in this game. There's nothing that's ever actually going to kill you in this game. But for some bizarre, strange reason, yeah, GoldenEye health meters. Just because. So, caution floor lubricant. Yep, that seems pretty lubricated to me. So we want to get out the garbage chute. And thus ends our mission. And we end the mission feeding koi by the koi pond for reasons that I hope would be obvious. So yeah, feeding bread to the koi. So this game is, as you've hopefully gathered, completely and utterly and totally bonkers. And normally I would do a first impressions video, but this isn't a first impressions video, it's a review, because my one main gripe is that I finished it really quickly. It's not very long, it's 3 hours tops, and that's with me exploring quite a lot of stuff. There is obviously still even more. I'm clearly finding stuff that I've not seen before, even at this stage, so it definitely warrants a few playthroughs just to find stuff you didn't find before. But nonetheless, the whole thing is over in 3 hours. It's a very short experience, but it's still nonetheless an experience I'm in love with. The game made me fall in love with it, but then broke my heart by ending the experience all too soon, right at the end there. It's like, just as I was beginning to fall for it. It's just this strange and beautiful and crazy world. It just ended. Pretty much when I didn't expect it to as well. I thought there would be so much more to it, and it just wasn't. Which is a damn shame, because it is a fantastic concept. I would absolutely love to see more of this. I would still heartily recommend it, even just for the brief experience that it is. It's totally, totally worth checking out. So, let's feed some more koi, because, hey, why the devil not? So, there we go. And that's that. Let's not do this. Let's go back to the main menu, because there is, nonetheless, one other thing that I want to show you. As I say, there are mini-games. There's a few mini-games in this. There's quite a few, in fact. They're dotted about all over the place. There's all sorts of strange things in there. But there's one that... Most of them don't seem to end up getting added to this extras menu, but there's one here. One that you unlock. And it's called Wedding Quake. And you find it, appropriately enough, inside a wedding cake. And I need to show you this, because it's one of my favourite things I've seen in a long time. Let's play some Wedding Quake. Let's play the game. Let's play... Wedding Quake!
Fight!
So, yep, this is actually a... Honest to God, this is a proper first-person shooter within the game. An entire first-person shooter mini-game, kind of like Quake, as one might easily imagine, and the object is to shoot people to marry them, basically. When you shoot them, you marry them, and the most marriages wins, I guess? It's so strange. It's a wedding-themed Quake mini-game, and... See you later. I want the minigun, cake minigun. Give me the cake minigun. Because it's a freaking cake minigun! Haha! Oh, no! Got me. So, yeah, it's first to 10 kills wins, and... It's... Can I have your gun? Nope. But I can get shot. As far as I've found, there are only 2 weapons. There's the... Oh, come on! Hacks, I call hacks. There's the champagne cork gun, which instantly kills anyone you fire at, but has a little delay on firing it. And you've got the wedding cake gun, which doesn't instantly kill, but it's a wedding cake gun. It's amazing. Oh, missed. No. Oh, come on, that was a headshot. Oh, yes. Are you dead? He's sort of spinning. What are you... Just make sure. Double tap. This is such a bizarre concept, but the fact that they built this just as a mini-game inside the entire game is fantastic. So I think that's quite enough of that. Exit cake. Exit cake! Everything about this game. There's nothing that's not to love about this. This is developed by Necrophone Games, published by Adult Swim, and it is out today on Steam or available through the Humble Store for the princely sum of $15, which, for the short experience, I feel some people might object to playing, but I would totally and wholeheartedly encourage you to pay it because it is so, so worth it. I am absolutely in love with Jazzpunk. I don't know what it is, I haven't got a clue what it is, but I love it. I've been Meroka, this has been Jazzpunk, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah!